Hi Floss2, welcome to Flossmas. It is day 9, Monday the 9th. I've had my full week off work and now I'm into this week's day off. Couple tomorrow, with tomorrow is a day off. And then I'll be back to work for 2 days before some more holiday. So yeah, right. It is Monday, December the 9th. I've just said that. It's 10 to 11 in the morning. So I've already had a bit of a run up the morning so far. What have I done so far this morning? I've caught myself up on my Mill Hill St Nicholas's Cathedral, which I've put some stitches in this morning. I didn't stitch on it at all yesterday. It now looks like this, and this is where I'll be coming to a stop with it. There is 865 stitches gone into this one, and the placement is correct. That is the bottom of the pattern. It is up a stitch from this one, the bottom of this pattern, but there is a row of beads going in underneath this white snow, so I'm hoping they don't look higgledy-piggledy. I'm following the patterns basically. The patterns are on the same size, and some of them start 2 stitches up, some of them start 1 stitch up, some of them go right to the edge, some of them have got a 2-stitch gap before the next one starts. I'm just rolling with it. So there we go. Stopping point of St Nicholas's Cathedral there. You can see I put the top of the cathedral there and had to frog out all those stitches because I wasn't really watching this morning, and I went, oh, it's on this line here, it's 3 down, and I started and did that, but it was 3 down from this one down here. So I obviously restitched that. Steps are kind of visible there. So we're doing not bad with this piece actually, all in all. I'm going to move my Q snap because I'm moving somewhere completely different now. So I will show it to you. Here we have the village as it stands at the moment. So we have now got 2, 4, 5, 6 of these little guys started, and today will be the 7th, which is going in here next to the clock shop, and today's one is the City Bank. So it's another white one, and this is the City Bank, and the City Bank has got a red bottom, so I'm planning on doing what I'm doing at the moment, going right across the bottom, making sure I've got the placement correct, because we have already made that stupid error. And I'm going to start my City Bank. I think maybe get the columns in, and maybe the red doors. Keep with my theme here. So I'm going to start the City Bank. When I finish recording this, I'll go through and start on that one. City Bank is today. And other than the very disappointing, there's not much progress on the bookseller. We know why that is. Everybody else has got a clear, good couple of days' work into them. And it will be very, very quick to put some detail into the cathedral, because the blockwork on the buildings is 2 colours of grey and some beads, so I can very quickly fill in all that blockwork. But I'm not going to do that right now, because that's not what I'm doing today. So there we go. My placement on this fabric has been terrible throughout. Now I'm looking at it and thinking I really should have just called it at the beginning and moved it all, because I could have fitted 3, one on top of the other, which I don't know whether I'd have liked a bit more than 2 in a big long strip. And of course I am unbelievably skinny at this end now. I am 10 stitches further this way because my placement is wrong. So that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's going to leave me an inch, just an inch to the edge there, whereas this end I've got like 5 inches. So I could have done that so much better, but I didn't. And as we've learnt, frogging out on this fabric is terrible. So we're not changing a thing, and I'm going to keep on trucking. And I think once I'm through Flossmas, this will be put in the box, at the bottom of the box. It's not getting a bag for Whip-Go. This is going to have, and if I suddenly fancy stitching on any of it, I can pull it out and do some stitching on it. That's not what Whip-Go's doing for me. Whip-Go's not, this is all I can stitch on. these are the goals that I could potentially stitch on this month, sort of thing, and aim for these goals, is what my whip go is. If I still fancy stitching on something out of rotation, or just because I want to stitch on it, I'm going to. Right, yesterday was a treasure hunt bookshelf day. Now, I did do an awful lot of stitches in one day. I topped out, here's my pattern keeper, so that's 3,052 stitches into the treasure hunt bookshelf. I think that's the single most amount of stitches I've ever recorded in a day. I might have done more stitches than that. It was certainly not into one single project. That's a lot of stitches. I got to 2,400 and I was like, I'm over it. I want to change projects. I want to do something completely different. Don't want to do this anymore. I want to do something else. I pushed on through, had a little nap, pushed on through and forced myself to the 3,000 point mark. And then I think I finished my thread and just joined on the next one just so I knew where I was. And then Sid, thankfully, thank you Sid, came and slept against it. So that was the end of that. 3,052 stitches into one single piece, and I know that's bananas, but my stitch goals for next year, so the 5,000 aim and my whip go goals are sort of 5,000 stitches around about, I think, for just about everything. You can see that's doable. I mean, I'm not going to do 3,000, I'm not going to do it over 2 days for a whole whip go. I've got a whole month to do 20,000 stitches plus my 27,000 stitches. So I'm looking at, and then I've got my Cross Stitch Studio stitch along. So we're looking at 30,000 stitches, which is 1,000 stitches a day, give or take. There'll be days I don't do that many, and there'll be days that I do way more, like 2,000 stitches in a day. 2,400 would have been perfect yesterday, and move on to my sewing machine to stitch on binding. That would have been ideal, but I pushed on through. Let me show it to you. So I'd done, I think, 1,000, 1,100 by the time I filmed yesterday, so it has come along a fair bit. So I've clearly got buildings and a cliff now, clearly. But I've still not looked at the mock-up, and I've put in, there was 158 up here, and that ate up my last 400 stitches where I was really not feeling it. That ate up 400 stitches, and then I had 200 to finish off my stitches after I reached the near point, which I've done in 934. There was a lot up here as well in 934, and then along this bottom, this bit here, this little funny little triangular shape here against this sharp, whatever that is, a lot of that is 934. So I'm going to keep on trucking. I am at, I think I've got another 1,200, 1,400 stitches to finish November's stitching, but I'm not so far behind as I was. I'm not so far behind. Let's be real, I'm still really behind. I should be 7,000 stitches further on, but you know, life's taken over a little bit, so that's where we are. I kind of like how it's come along, and since I dropped my piece of biscuit and came down, that's how much has gone in to the bottom of the piece, because there was nothing at all at the bottom of this piece. I was literally coming down with the black and the 823, and I dropped a bit of biscuit right where I was coming down there with my 823. That's what I was doing there. I was coming down with my 823 and I dropped my biscuit, and it landed weirdly in Cinderella's hair. And since then, that's where I've worked almost exclusively. All of this has gone in since then, and I'm fair on close to the edge there, but I'm not going to the edge. I'm going to finish this month out. I'm going to finish the year I've said already, I'm going to finish the year out in this section there. I'm going to finish out my year, and then next year I am literally going to put my Q-snap somewhere completely different. It might very well, I only need a key. I only need a few stitches where I can, don't look at the state of this fabric. It doesn't smell terribly pleasant either. I only need a small key where I can grab some stitches, pull them down, like stitch down with the colour, rather than, I know it's gridded. I like to stitch down so I've got a clear marker on my pattern keeper. And then I might just put the Q-snap here, literally there, and just go, this is where I am, I'm stitching here. I may decide to do something completely different. I mean, there's a huge piece there, that all needs filling in. I did all of that. This top corner's absolutely complete. I've got gaps in the gaps there. I think that might be one of the first gaps is there. Ninja stitches to go back and find later on. Yeah, that's not a stitch hole, that's a piece of fluff. Yeah, but I've got all of that under there to do. So I've got a lot of places I can stitch on in this. Things I found. There's the lady. I could maybe stitch the lady. I've got her hand, just her hand and her arm, and then sort of the side of her dress, oddly, because I was looking for a fox. And I found my fox and I stitched my fox. There's my fox. And we've got a... That was not my Amazon Christmas present for Richard's daughter, I think. Anyway, I haven't ordered from Amazon yet. I have a big full basket and it's the sweep up. Not that I've done a lot of Christmas shopping, but I don't need to do very much Christmas shopping. But I might be, I'm feeling slightly blasé now that I don't need to do much Christmas shopping. Come this time next week, I'm probably going to be like, I haven't done any Christmas shopping. Anyway, going to carry on with this, but not today. I'm having myself a break. What have I got that I was needing to put stitches into? Pandemic and the Hawkrun Hollow. Yeah, I'm possibly going to put some stitches into them today just to shake it up a bit. But I am going to get a start on this first. I'm going to take a photo of it for the beginning before I put the Q-snap back on it. Not too sure there's anything else to show you today, so far today. I'm going to be home now for another, it's 11, 12, 1 and a half, another 2.5 hours of sitting watching telly with Sid and stitching. And then I'm going to go up to my storage locker, put the last 2 boxes that we didn't pack into Richard's car, just so it wasn't, you know, completely couldn't move in the car. I did leave two drawers. I'll put them in the back of my car, take the dustpan and brush, sweep it out, speak to the guy, say goodbye to him, and take my padlock home with me, which is going to be lovely to do. There is, well, as I said, I think I've told you like 12 times, there's 1 drawer of books and 1 drawer of trash, like empty water bottles and wrappers and things, so I can very quickly condense that down to almost nothing. And that's that. And then I've just got the stuff that I'm looking at there to go through, and the stuff in the bathroom which has already been gone through but needs putting away in places, so I've got lots to do. Bag wise, I've not brought them through. The 3 that had the binding with the Wonder clips around them, I've stitched that down this morning, so those 3 are finished. And the 3 that had the binding stitched on but not folded and clipped, I've folded and clipped, so they're ready to be stitched. So I'm ready to get another few and stitch the binding on the front, and then it'll start again. So I've got, I think I have 6 finished bags, which leaves me 39 to go. And somebody left me a comment saying, why did I stitch right to the edge? I'll go and get my bag, hang on. Yes, I now have 6 finished bags, so realistically that's 1.5 months of whip go. That's only 6 projects. Anyway, lady asked why I didn't stitch a piece of fabric on the bottom of this, and the answer is because these are for me. It doesn't matter. I'm trying to use up the offcuts of the vinyl on bags for me, because I'm not selling these. They don't need to be. I mean, they're beautiful. I'm so happy with them, but they aren't going up for sale. So these are purely for me. I could have stitched a piece of fabric on the bottom. But equally, that's about 7 inches and I was about an inch short, but it could have been, I've got two that are like 4 and 4. This is about 8 inches here of vinyl. It could have been, I've got some that are like 4 and 4, but I've actually stitched like a 5 inch and a 4 inch together. So some of the seams are high, some of the seams are low. It just depended where they came out. This obviously was a bigger piece here. I would have stitched a piece a lot bigger on the bottom of that and have trimmed it off. So it fell where it fell. So I've got one that has actually got the seam just above the binding. I actually thought I'd already stitched that one together. It might be one of the ones I've got ready there. But the answer is, if I was going to do a bag to sell, I wouldn't have made a join. I would never join the vinyl and put it up for sale, even though it is a design choice. The bags I would sell, this is the quality, this is the sort of quality of the bag I would actually sell, where it's all finished beautifully, the corners are all mitered, and it's hand whip stitched on the back so that it's beautiful and there's no discernible seams here. The seam is in there, in the binding. So that's the answer is because they're there for me. If I was selling them, I would never have joined. I'd have never done it. This is old binding I already had, so it's wide. This is how I kind of rock my new binding. You can see it's much narrower because that is 1.75 inch probably binding. This I now cut 1.25 inch. I cut 1.25 inch so that I have a nice narrow neat binding, and I couldn't do it on the sewing machine. I couldn't like fold and pin it with the Wonder Clips and stitch it on because it misses on the back and it makes such a mess. Anyway, six finished bags. I'm going to wait until I've got maybe twice as many as this before I start putting projects in them. But do I want to be fussy and choose? Yes, I'm probably going to put the Halloween projects. That's probably going to either have Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow, or it's going to have Everything is Better with a Bit of Magic in it. I think I've got 3 of these Halloweeny ones. So, you know, we'll see. And the wintry project in the Glorious, it glows. The stags glow in the dark, and the moons glow, and the rabbits glow. Who knew they glowed? The lady said, actually, when I bought it, she said, I think this is our glow in the dark fabric. This one might have something fun and springy. Some of them might not have anything that matches, and then that's fair dues too. But I'm going to wait until I've maybe got a dozen completely fully finished bags. That's 6 there. Before I start putting the projects away into them. So I think that's about me, I think, today. They seem to be getting shorter, but I'm not doing very much with my time at the moment. I think this Flossmas is very much me at home. I haven't got a university pickup. Lizzie's going to get the train up. Oh, she's sick. She's sick and she's a long way away from me. So we'll see. She's just messaged there, actually. Sorry, I paused because the message came up along the top. So yeah, she's coming up. We almost Christmas. Actually, the message I've just read there looks like I'm not going to see her possibly until Christmas Eve. So that's fine. She's got a big life. She's a big grown-up girl now. Oh, never mind her poor mother at home without her. Gotta let them do it, haven't we? Yeah. So I'm going to keep on trucking. This week I will be getting the Christmas decorations down from the loft, probably towards the weekend, and then either put the decorations up just before the weekend or just after the weekend. I think doing the transition with the decorations might be a bit much for Richard's daughter. It might be better for her to come in to it decorated, chuck the hoolie she'll obviously chuck, and deal with it then, rather than have her help and have it all day. I'm trying to minimise my I'm getting used to it, but I've not dealt with severe ADHD before, and it's, you know, it's a lot to suddenly fall into. So I try now to like leave it so we have one big conflict of behaviour rather than a whole day of it. That's me not understanding and not coping well. I'm learning. I'm finding it very difficult though. Mondays are always a bit of a and we all do it. We all do it. Because it's her reality, but she doesn't know she doesn't know she's very different. She doesn't know it, so I can't be mean about it because she doesn't know she's doing it. You've just caught me on Monday when I'm just trying to just take stock of the weekend, that's all. So we'll be fine. Okay, yeah, so decorating maybe back end of this week or very early next week, depending on how quickly we're approaching Christmas. We'll maybe try and get it done this week, sort of Thursday-ish perhaps, get it all sorted so that come Friday after school, it's up and it's done, and it's okay, get on with it, this is it, we're done. But yep, I'm going to go and take a photograph of this and get started on my city bank for today. I'm going to give away number 8 from yesterday. Number 8 from yesterday was the stamp needle minder. So it's this one. Sorry, I sang. It's one of those funny things where you can only really remember it if you sing. So this exact needle minder is going to be given away. I'm going to just stop my video and do that, and then I'll be back and show you who's won. I'll be right back. Right, that's done. I have done my screen recording for that. So my number 8 here, I'm going to pop it up here. And I love this screen recording thing. How did I not know that existed? Honestly, I'm thick as mince. And Mrs. Miggins, it is yours. I know you've been watching me for a good long time. So this is yours. If I message me. Yeah. Jodie, I have not got your email. Double check it again and see that it's sent. Just copy and paste from my description box. I know you spelt my email wrong. I have double checked my inbox. It's not there. Just message me. Your needle thread is yours. Don't worry. I'm not gonna do another dip or another giveaway. We'll get it sorted. And Mrs. Miggins, send me a little message, please. And I'm pretty sure I have your address, but just give me a little jolt. That is great. So tomorrow we'll be opening number 10 and we'll see what we've got in number 10, and we'll roll along the bus a bit and see. We're getting there. That will be the 5th thing open, so you know we're getting on with Advent. I'm going to go and do some stitching, make myself a cup of herb tea, trying not to drink too much coffee. I've been getting very trembly because I'm at home all day long. I can drink coffee all day long. That makes me very trembly if I don't eat as well. So I'm going to go and have some breakfast and a herb tea. Got some lovely, I think they're strawberry and pomegranate or something, Twinings bags. They're really nice, and don't need extra caffeine right now. And I'm going to get on. But Treasure Hunt Bookshelf is going to sit by itself for a day or two, just to think about what it put me through yesterday. And the moral of the story is, if I have all day to stitch, 2,400 stitches is perfect. So that's great. Righto, I will see you tomorrow, guys, for day 11. My last day, day 10 tomorrow. My goodness, I'm rushing myself. Day 10, and I will, yeah, that's my last day off of this week, and then I'll be back to work for 2 days, but we'll still be doing the morning video because I'm on too late, so nothing much is going to change in my pattern apart from 8 hours of it. I'm going to be running around like a headless chicken. But that's fine, that's what I do, and I've had a whole week away from doing it, so it's time to go back. Right guys, I will see you tomorrow about the same time with some progress on the City Bank and something else. I'm going to go and stitch on something a little bit different that's in my pile of things to help myself along the way a bit, but I need to do something that isn't Treasure Hunt Bookshelf and isn't 20 count full coverage on that particular piece. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye bye.